This conference will now be recorded.
I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
All those in favor? Say
You
aye.
gotta have
I'll
a
second.
motion and a second,
I'll second.
and then she has to do a roll call.
Roll call vote.
Member Gomez? Member Rouser?
Aye.
Member Bolt?
Here.
And Vice Chairman Price.
Yes. How are we gonna do that? Did y'all get the minutes?
They're up on the screen if you guys want to review them real quick.
On your laptop.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having that up there. Yeah,
You're
sure.
welcome.
It's great not to have to hunt for it. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 13th. No second.
You want me to do roll call? Okay. Ready for you. Member Bolt?
Yes.
Member Gomez?
Yes.
Member Rouser?
Yes.
And Vice Chairman Price.
Yes. Staff report.
I have no staff reports. The last meeting we had, actually the variance for 304 West Avenue O that was tabled. Of course, she still hasn't come in to finish, and of course, you guys approved the non-conforming, so. Between now and then, there's nothing else that's went on.
And they have to do nothing until she comes in
She's not interested in doing this, or?
It's probably that I'm going to have to get code enforcement to start giving her citations to get her to get motivated to do something at this point.
and, take it over, motivate.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got a public comment. Got a public comment.
We don't have any public.
We're good. Now moving on to action items. I accept a motion.
There's gonna be a discussion.
Discussion.
So
Second.
I'll make a second.
Okay, so what we're looking at is various city properties that I need you guys' input on how to proceed with these properties. We have some individual lots, we have some large lots, so I'm gonna go through them, just a few at a time. This first one is 1201 West Tyler, the single-family housing zoned lot. It is over 7,000 square feet, which is what's required of a residential lot by code. It has access to city water and sewer in the alley. So someone purchasing this property to build a home or to place a manufactured double wide on would be acceptable by code. The lot itself could possibly sell from anywhere from 22 at a low, 34 at a high, is what I was told by a local realtor.
Now.
So I do not see a personal need for the city to own this lot. I do not see that the city could use this lot for any function.
But we could use the money.
So that's where I'd like do you guys recommend we ask the city commission to sell this lot or as a single family residential lot? Or do we still hold on to this lot for no reason at all?
How did we acquire the lot?
It was, we've had it for many, many years. There was an old home on it that burnt. It was condemned and taken away. And then I do believe that James had said this lot was donated to the city after it was condemned.
Are we free and clear on titles and deeds?
Yes. as far as I know, which after you guys' recommendations, I will do the title thing to make sure everything is free and clear before I take it to
I'll make a recommendation, we sell the thing.
See,
I don't
that's
think we're
easy.
calling for a recommendation yet, but I can note that.
Well, that's all
Oh,
I
you can
want.
go-
I'll
you
just
go-
make the
You
notes
can go
on it.
one by one, you can take your notes.
Yeah, I'll take the notes and that's.
That way we can accept and reject each one individually.
That's fine.
Sell
Yeah.
Kind of how I'm gonna go about it.
Yeah, I like, we can do that.
No
All
other,
in favor?
Well, we won't call
Well,
for
we will call
We
for
won't
a
vote
vote.
on it, it's all just
These are
recommendations.
just recommendations.
Just recommendations.
I'm recommending,
All right.
All right. next slide,
Recommending?
Jay.
recommending. I guarantee you.
These properties are over on,
Oh, sorry, I disconnected.
I have 7 lots on North Chavez. This is in the 600 to 700 block. There's only one in the 700 block. The rest of them are in the 600 block. Each one of these lots is 50 foot by 140 foot long, which makes them the regulated size for a multi-housing lot or a commercial lot.
When you say multi-housing lot, what you mean like?
So the B zone. So
Yeah.
a single wide mobile home can go there.
Uh-huh.
A double wide mobile home can go there if it'll fit, if it's small enough double wide. A commercial, which is a lot of that area, there's those small trucking yards,
Mhm.
things like that in that area. It is a commercial zone.
That would be better to sell as commercial property than sell as a residential. Because if somebody bought all of them, that would be a great.
That would be a pretty good size
Right? I'm
spot.
trying to gauge.
That's where I don't know if the city would want to think about this for a future street yard, because that is a future need.
Is that an actual picture of it?
Yes, that is an actual
So is it
aerial.
the yellow,
Yeah, the yellow dots are the individual
The one
lots.
that's here.
and then there's, what's the one out there all by itself?
That's another individual lot we own. So the one up top,
So where's?
it's not
600?
connected to the other 6, so I don't think that one would be usable as a city space, but just,
I think the 600 would be the one to the north. Right?
North of-
yeah, so at the very top of the screen, this is Van Buren,
Okay,
Okay.
okay? This is Van Buren, this is Monroe, Jackson, Madison.
So that's right along Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson comes but does not go through.
Oh, okay,
The only streets that go through is Madison and Van Buren
okay.
in that area.
I know exactly what.
So right across the street from those lots is, what is that company's name? I can't remember. They enter off of Commercial Street anyways. Then there's a small RV park.
Abel, Caballos.
Yes,
Yeah,
Caballos.
Okay. I mean, this one, if you're needing.
I was going to say that would be good for like a street or the right.
And that may be something we could look at to propose, that those 6 lots that are grouped together
Yeah,
be something that city may not want to sell right away, because it could possibly be used for something for the city street yard, animal shelter.
When we say,
There's several different things that we could use in the commercial zone.
when we say street yard, what are we talking about? What
The
is,
street
Okay,
department,
so
so like
these,
that's where you park gravel and
yes,
equipment, things like
Yes.
that?
street
yes.
sweepers.
being commercial, that would still work for the city's benefits.
Mhm.
I mean, we,
Because we couldn't put a lot like that in a B or A zone. We
Yeah.
couldn't put them into one of those zones. We have to keep them to a
That
commercial
would
or
work, right.
industrial area.
the street norm,
And with the transaction going through
County taking that
or
over.
proceeding forward, it hadn't went through yet, proceeding forward about the county taking over that, the street yard is then out of a building
Right.
to be in and out of their storage area for their,
so that would work. right?
for their aggregate, for their base course, for their,
Is that about the same
pavement.
size?
Equipment.
I mean, the other one.
that is actually as big as, that, all those together are probably as big as what they have.
Was that like 7 acres that the county's getting from us, or?
No,
was it
it's,
7?
it's under, the 7 acres is the whole thing, but we've got to separate the ballparks out of that.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I would just, I mean,
I would.
I would recommend that they take that into consideration,
Take that into consideration.
future, and if
Okay,
Let's move our buildings off of the other lot and put it on.
It looks like we're moving.
But sell the one at the top.
sell one off by itself.
Yeah, because there's no viable,
Yeah, and like I said, the city needing a single lot in the commercial zone off by itself like that is not really.
that could be somebody put a trailer on a single wide road because it's big enough.
Mhm.
You said that's Van Buren up top?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, and those are all homes right there around that, so.
So is that any residential right in that area? Is that all?
The thing about our commercial zone is you're allowed to build a home there or put a mobile home there.
But you have to pay a higher tax rate.
You pay a higher tax rate because it's a commercial zone lot. But if you build a residence there, you gotta meet the residential setbacks, which, a lot that size would be able to do. They moved in a single wide or double wide.
I know some of them that we have, commercial that we go out and
Mhm.
put stuff out there. But I didn't know if there was residential right in that area or.
No, it is all zoned commercial,
Mhm.
clear from, Second Street all the way over to commercial. It is all commercial zoned in that area.
But has anybody installed any homes?
Oh, yeah, there's homes all in there.
In that, in
Oh, yeah.
near vicinity there?
Oh, yeah, if you look,
Is that what that?
Right here.
brick is?
these are all homes right here. This is a church and then these are all homes. These are homes here. There's a home here, here, and then these are homes down in here. This is actually a home
Is
too.
that Church Primera Baptista?
Oh, yeah, that's the church on Love, or Northeast Street and Van Buren, the corner of East and Van Buren. All right, we got a next one.
Wait, so y'all,
We make a recommendation.
They looked at consider the 6 lots for the future use of the street department or other city need, and sell the top lot, which I have as lot 10, that's off by itself. All right, this is a big parcel, if everybody knows where the hill is at.
Yes,
Okay,
you got it there, Mike.
so the hill is over.
Hey, I remember Gibson's was.
Okay, so north of the fairgrounds on commercial, if you look at it this way, here's commercial,
Where's the fairground?
fairgrounds is here,
Okay.
and then you have this little housing development here.
Yeah, is that the one that's got all the crazy streets? in
Yes,
there?
the streets go crooked and crazy.
Yeah.
Roosevelt,
Mhm.
Ivy, yes,
Yeah, okay,
that's where this is. So this is Jefferson and this is Madison.
okay.
All right, commercials over here. We own this parcel. We own clear out to the middle of the road.
Mhm.
We actually bought parcels here, here, and here for road easements because there was none. So in order to sell this, we would need to replat it, dedicate the easements as city property for the roads. But what I was thinking is if we could look into a developer to build some low-income housing
That area
apartments.
would be good.
Maybe offer this to EDC to look at, where they could get a developer to come in and within 2 years have finished construction, she could make those kind of arrangements and we could offer the property at a lower cost to the developer.
So how many lots would you propose that you could get out of something like that?
Well, if you did an apartment complex, you wouldn't want to change it into lots.
No,
Okay, so just
You
sell.
want
this-
to leave it.
you don't do that.
But if you wanted to buy it, if a developer wanted to buy it, they could probably get in, I think it was close to 9 individual lots that would meet, because this is a B zone, so it's multifamily. So you're allowed duplexes, townhomes, regular side built homes, apartments. You could get 7 to 9 individual lots if you wanted to sell it out in lots itself. But then to sell it in lots, the city would have to replat it, divide the lots up, provide utilities down an alleyway. That would be more of a cost on us. What we want to look at is just replatting and dedicating those easements and then getting it to a developer to actually do all that work. Because if he obtained the property for a low cost, it would be easier for him to put in those utilities.
Yeah.
And if he's doing apartments, he would then have the design of where those utilities need to be.
Okay, would we put on a stipulation that if you purchase it, you have to build something within a time period? As
That's what I
opposed to
would
grabbing it and hanging on to it.
That's what I would suggest. And I know EDC, wish Evelyn was here. I know that's what they do with a lot of their projects. And I know Main Street, but this is not Main Street's district. You know, it's how they did with a lot of the different projects going in is they gave them a time frame of when they had to start construction or when they had to be through the design phase, when they had to start construction and when they had the final finished product. I know I've thought about this one with me and Evelyn reaching out to Fannie Mae, USDA, or HUD Housing and see if we can find some developers through that corporation
Yeah.
that can come in and do some low-income housing.
And we're talking anywhere from apartments to duplexes, those types of things.
Or if you guys have any other suggestions of what we could do, because the thing is that is in a multifamily zone. We could not put the street yard there. We
No.
can't put the dog pound there. There's really like Parks and Rec, I mean, there's already a park there. We don't need to build another park there. I don't see any other future use that the city would need that large of a multifamily zone lot unless it is to offer it to a developer.
And there would be no reason to build a business up there.
You can't, it's not zoned for
It's
business.
not commercial,
We change everything.
not up there.
I've been in planning and zoning long enough.
That would be spot zoning and I do not approve spot zoning. You guys may go against me and approve it, but I would not be for it.
How do we get this property? Chris? Do we know?
I do not know how we obtained this property. It
I'm
has
just
been,
wondering why
I think
that
that was donated.
it's not in,
it's, the one corner is owned by somebody else.
right,
It's actually owned by that little church that's
I
across
think it
the
was
road.
donated back when Bob Carter was city manager.
Yeah, Betty's been there longer than I. She
Sorry.
done more.
I think it was donated back when Bob was here and they were gonna build like a duplexes out there
Mhm,
and the developer fell through.
mhm.
And so they just owned the property.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the Knoll addition.
Yeah, it gets,
That developer fell through and those roads never got developed. And then we had the one guy that wanted to do apartments out there and nobody wanted to change the zone. The
Yeah.
people that lived there were all against it. So we lost out on another developer that would have brought in some housing for us.
Yeah, I remember his plans, though. I could have drawn better in a half hour with my eyes closed. One of them anyway. Left-handed, yeah. With clicking on the clicker.
Well,
Left-handed.
maybe you need to become a developer and drop some.
All right, what do y'all think on this one?
I think we need to turn it over like to Evelyn and see if she can't get,
See if EDC can do something with it.
yeah, EDC can't do something with it.
Okay, and then we got one more. This property is at 23, it's actually 2320, sorry, I had the wrong address on there. 2320 South Main. If you know where the church is, New Hope, no, that's not, what is it? What is that one? The
Oh,
last one going out of
New
town.
beginnings?
yes, maybe,
On this
yeah,
side,
sure.
yes. If you look at that church, then there's that RV park, then there's this little blue building. Blue cinder block building. Has a little chain fence
Loan, it
things
used to
out
be a
front.
loan,
Oh, the loan, it was like a loan.
yeah, it's a loan shark.
Yes, that was what it was last. We own this building.
was that the one that they were talking about having the clinic in?
That's the one they talked about moving the clinic and the shelter to.
I don't think it's that building too.
It's actually nowhere near the size of the building they're currently in, and the building they're in is already too small. Laura did go in that building and look at how, because she was all ready to make anything work. But she said there's just not enough square footage in that building.
Yeah, but there's enough property there to add to it.
They didn't give her those. They didn't give her that.
I see old place.
Yeah. This property, it's commercial, so there's several things the city could use it for in the future. The thing is, are we going to? Like I said, the street department has rejected this building as too small. The shelter has rejected this building as too small. The building itself is outdated, needs new electrical, new plumbing for anybody to move into it. It would have to be renovated and redone and brought up to code. So as the budget for the city, I don't see us doing that to that building. I don't see where we would spend that much money on that building. The amount of money you'd have to spend to send the clinic in there would be a little over the top for what they're wanting to spend. But if we sold it and got it to somebody who wanted the shell of a building to redo something and to build a business,
Could that be done, Tom?
it'd be a good buy for somebody.
You know the building, instead of walking, it'd be redone.
It's
So
be the world headquarters for Ramirez Construction.
There you go.
We need 11th yard.
It's about time.
Ready to move in.
It sits in the middle of 3 lots that we own. Each lot is only 25 by 140. So it's a 75-foot by 140-foot area that that building is on.
It's on 3 lots?
It is on 3
they
lots.
sit this way.
Yeah, the lots sit long ways, and it is actually on a piece of all 3 lots. There might be the 25-foot to the south side, but when I measured it, I only got like a 22-foot. So I do believe the edge of the building is over that second lot, so you couldn't separate it out and just sell one little lot and sell the other 2 with the building. I do believe the way it's situated on there, we'd have to sell all 2 lots.
The lots are basically running the short distance of the
No, the long distance. They're 25-foot wide along the highway,
20.
and they're 140-foot long from the highway back.
This way.
Man, that ain't even wide enough to put a fruit stand.
No, and that's why I said there is, basically, when you look at it, you have 1, 2, 3 lots.
Who did this, man?
A lot of your commercial lots are only
Yeah.
25-foot wide and very long. Most of your downtown ones are actually the same way. They're 25 by 140.
Just wide enough to put a delivery on or something?
No, back then they didn't have,
The buildings are long and skinny.
The shop, though, they haven't got designed for shotgun.
Yes,
Yeah.
the buildings, when those were done, were long and skinny.
Okay. Now. And no easement.
And most of our buildings take up more than a lot. Some of them only take up that single lot in our downtown area.
So you're recommending that we just divest ourselves of this property?
I don't know, this is one that I really,
There is no functional use for the city? What about the lawnmowers? Can we borrow the lawnmowers?
it's all that they do, turn it down.
I mean, this one, you're just gonna have to.
I don't know if the street
All places.
department has actually, I mean, there's not a lot of room in that back for them to store their equipment and stuff. I mean, they'd be able to park a few tractors and that'd be about it.
Yeah.
The building would be good to hold like their signs and stuff and their mechanical equipment that they gotta have, but they'd have to
There's
install
no
a large
reason to have it in
garage
2
door.
places.
Yeah, there would have to be, like the animal shelter being there would have to be the upgrades made to the building, and then they just still wouldn't have enough room.
If
Both
anything,
departments have run into that same issue with this building, it's just not enough room.
if anything, they'd be better off just taking it and wrecking it, putting up a building.
Yeah, 6, 8, 9 building down, and use the property.
Put a fence around it,
Mhm.
empty yard. Yeah, I mean, this one, they're just gonna have to take everything into consideration, whether you
Yeah,
use
you
the
have to-
building
yeah,
or
they-
not. If you use the building, you have to bring it up to code. If it's
The
better.
building also has to
demo it,
be in the
you don't
floodway.
Use the land.
Oh,
So,
yeah, it is in that flood zone, ain't it?
The building actually, the floodway runs, there's one that runs right to the south of it, down on Dinko Lane here.
mhm.
Yeah, you know that.
This one, and then you have the floodway that runs right here through the railroad ditch that comes out. So this edge of the building, and this, like, this whole RV park, the front of it is in the floodplain. This is in the floodplain, this is in the floodplain.
Doesn't the RV park get flooded on a regular basis?
No, that one actually doesn't, but we haven't had a massive rain in.
So why
many,
don't we
many
just make
years.
it knock it down, make it a retention pond, make it useful for the rest of the city?
There you go.
As long as the water's running there.
There actually is a few lots back in the Denko edition, which is that housing edition back behind all this.
The city owns it, they're gonna. put it
We
back
own
there.
several of those, but they are not viable to sell because they are flood retention areas.
That's what we was talking about once before, is making a flood pit back.
That
there.
is one of the reasons we bought the property
Yeah.
south of the Denko edition, or just past the Denko edition and off of Arkansas Junction,
Mhm.
was to help the future drainage go to that area and have a reservoir down there to drain the city.
Nice.
That was back in, when we did the mass.
Mhm.
Okay, so it could go either way, just depending on what.
Just kind of depends on how the commission wants to go.
Yeah, if they don't want to use it for anything in the city, let them sell it.
Perfect. Alrighty.
You
If
know,
they don't have any use, then
If it's in the floodplain, we could sell it as a submarine pin.
Moving on.
and that's it, that's all the properties I have.
that was
Like
it.
I said, the rest of them are not usable space. They're little bits and triangles, easements that we own here and there, which we can't get rid of anyways. So as far as usable lots, these were the few I have found, that we own.
What are we gonna do about the ones that they condemned and, knocked the houses down, they burned and stuff?
Okay, so, and that's,
I know.
Laura has not, Laura hasn't gotten back with me on the one on L. That was the last one we condemned and tore down. I don't know if the people have paid off those liens,
Yeah,
or if she has a lien or not on those. Avenue L, it's in the 200 block of Avenue L. And then the next one that she wanted, she had a couple to condemn this next year, but with budget cuts, she was not allowed to. Because condemnation takes money. It takes money on our part to do it and get it done and clean it up. And then we're stuck with not getting that money back until that lien's paid.
okay, do we need to?
And there's possibility that the lien doesn't get paid. So that's where commission didn't let her proceed forward with any more condemnations this year.
If we condemn something, but were to sell it as is, would that be a viable thing that they would, upon sale, they would demolish what was there, whatever structure was left? And then that would free us. You're talking about when we demolish something, then we put the lien on the property ourselves. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
So if you just had it and sold it as is with
The thing
stipulation.
about it is once we condemn a building,
Thank
if
you.
we do nothing to take care of the hazard, we are liable because we have condemned it and the citizens can no longer, even though they're not doing nothing with it, they can claim that you condemned it, we couldn't do anything with it. And we couldn't afford to tear it down. Then therefore that liability would fall back on us. So Laura has to be prepared when she condemns something to have the money to get it demoed and get the safety issue removed from the property.
Is there a general fee? I mean, I guess, what's the average cost to demo a building?
The house we did on L was 25,000. And it had,
Got that one?
yes, and it had asbestos, and it had to be demolished as all asbestos free because the stucco was asbestos, the interior drywall was asbestos, and there was flooring in the.
So did you have to put up like a tent and everything around it to?
No, they actually, when they do a demolish, when they demo an asbestos building, they have to keep constant spray so the air, so it doesn't become airborne. And they just demolish the whole building. They put it in one of their big trucks that has the burrito wrapping and they haul it down the road. So, that's another thing when she condemns a house. We have to have the money to do the asbestos testing, which me and her are both inspectors, so we're allowed to do that.
Mhm.
Which saves the city money from having to hire an asbestos consulting company to come in and do that. Saves us probably close to $15,000 on each home for those testing.
No, really?
Because all your material, when you're gonna demolish a home, every material of that home has to be tested for asbestos.
Before you demolish it or after?
Before, you must do it before.
I mean, when you demolish, it's all contaminated anyway.
But you have to know how to dispose of it.
So where do we put asbestos? Out of
We
curiosity.
actually have to hire a company that can transport the debris and can,
Like GWC?
yes.
Uh-huh.
There's a company in Roswell, there's a company in Seminole, there's companies in Lubbock. We always put it out for bid. GWC just happens to always come back with the lowest bid.
Yeah, they're the best around here.
All right, so let's take a vote
So
on,
he probably needs to amend his motion.
we have to,
I would just say like approve board's recommendation to the city commission on said properties.
Yeah, I like that.
that works.
Do you want
Need
to
a
say
second?
that?
So moved, huh?
Yes, so moved.
What do you say?
I'll make a second.
Okay, now we have roll call up.
Member Bolt, are you abstaining or are you saying no?
I'll abstain.
Let me break that down real quick. Member Rouser,
Yes.
Member Gomez,
Yes.
and Vice Chairman Price.
Yes.
Do you need a motion for adjournment?
I'll accept a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay.
Member Rouser, let me do a vote. Member Rouser,
Yes.
Member Gomez,
Yes.
Member Bolt,
Yes.
and Vice Chairman Price.
Yes.
So
So yeah, if you want to know, this is what the floodway looks like down in that area of town.
Yep, there it goes right there.
That's my floodway. The red hashing